Afternoon, folks. Welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. Today I got another great product for all you watch collectors out there, and this is a watch winder by a company that goes by the name of Mosley. So I'll put the link in the description if you want to read more about these. This is absolutely gorgeous. So they were nice enough to reach out to Fat Cat Collections and want to collaborate, and they sent me one of their single watch winders. So you might be asking yourself, what is a watch winder? And for those who, my diehard, collectors out there, I know you guys know what this is for, but basically for anybody else, this basically winds an automatic watch. So automatic watches have a rotor on the inside, and as you wear the watch and that rotor flips around and turns, it winds the mainspring of the watch. Now once you put your watch down, that process stops. This keeps your watch wound. It keeps all the gears moving, keeps things rotating, keep things running fluently. Now, again, depending on the watch you put in this, if it's a super accurate watch, you may not have to reset your watch. If it's something that doesn't hold time as well, there's lots of different grades of watches out there and accuracies. You might have to still reset your watch once in a while, but it'll keep the mainspring wound and keep it charged. So let's check it out. So, for me, I'm never really a big I have so many watches, and I think that a lot of the guys who watch my channel have a pretty huge collection. So sometimes we don't always gravitate towards owning something like this because, if you have one or two watches, you rotate back and forth, this seems like a very practical idea. But for us guys who have like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 200, 400, 1,000 watches, we can't have watch winders for all of our automatic watches, right? But I do think this is just a great accessory and definitely something that is like part of your decor, I think it's really classy to have something like this on your dresser, kind of rotating away with one of your watches in it. I think it looks cool. And there's a little bit of a story behind it. One thing I really like about the Mosley watch winders is that they're very ship-like. And what I mean is you can basically look at the design on this, and it looks like something you'd find like on a battleship or a submarine. Almost looks like a port window or something like that. So very cool. Now these are battery-powered and AC. It comes with a USB charger, basically. Pretty cool. You can plug it in the wall, or you can use it with the batteries. I don't know how long it lasts on battery life. It only has 2 AA batteries. So if you're going to put this somewhere in your house that doesn't have power, a perfect example is like on that back shelf there. I have a watch winder that's not plugged in. This would be fantastic up there, and that's where I might actually put it. It allows you have that cool display, the watch is winding, and still be able to do so off battery life. Again, not sure how long it lasts. Time will tell. But for me, I'll be plugging this in and probably putting this on my dresser, or again, if I put it on that back shelf, using a battery. Again, batteries shouldn't dissuade anybody because when you look at like the wall clock I have on the back wall there, that'll last for like 6-7 months. So it's pretty incredible. Now, the only thing negative I would say is you have a pretty large case. It doesn't necessarily have to be so large. It is because you have the motor and all that stuff, and I'm sure there is some mechanics in there to take some space, but I think with something like this, I would have liked to have seen maybe a couple D-size batteries. Maybe even a couple C's. D's would have been much better. I like the idea of having a battery-powered charger or watch winder, but I don't know how long AA is going to last. I think this would have been a very easy thing to be able to, you have enough room here. They could have very easily accommodated a couple D-sized batteries in here somehow. So I think if they ever improve upon this design, definitely give it more juice. 2 D-sized batteries. Have the ability to leave somebody to put this on their shelf and leave it turned on for like a year if you can. I don't know, even 6 months I think is reasonable with a couple D-sized batteries. So now as far as color combinations, I'm not going to walk you through all of them, but the link I'm going to provide you with is to their actual store. But just on the Amazon listing that I'm looking at, you get it in the black, or you can get it in, they call this the red. They do have it in silver and orange and many other colors. They do have, again, the dual watch winders, the quad watch winders. And what's really cool about this is that this actually has an in and out for the power. So if you are going to plug this in, you can daisy chain another watch winder together and then another watch winder. I'm not sure how many you could actually kind of daisy chain, but I think that's pretty cool. Now, the only thing about that is what I find a little bit confusing about the in and out or the daisy chaining is that if you're going to put this somewhere and daisy chain them like on your dresser, why not just plug the other one in, So I'm not really sure why they did that, but I'll read through the description and maybe we'll get an answer. As far as putting your watch in the watch winder, you basically just unscrew the cap and it opens up the front. And I actually have I have one of my Pagani Design automatics. We're going to test in this. And then, of course, they give you 2 cushions. Now, when I first unboxed this, I was a little confused on how this works. One cushion I'd say could be improved upon. This cushion is probably the one you're going to use if you have something just kind of a little oddball. Maybe it doesn't fit in the watch winder so well. It's kind of a universal cushion, although I do feel like this is sort of universal as well. This one works much better. This one, again, I think it's just something they threw in there where it gives you a couple options on how to insert this. You can put it sideways. You could probably put it in like so. And I think how it's supposed to be used is you actually put the watch in like this. But if you'll see, at least on my watch, I have this size for a 7-inch wrist, so there's a little bit of play on there. So this will kind of jump around a little as it turns. It's not completely tight, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. It's not moving enough where it's going to fall off. But I like the cushion they give you that's installed in the device when you get it. And how this works, basically, you just compress it. I believe there's almost like a little spring in there. It's like a spring-like material. You basically just compress this and slide it inside your watch, or you can unbuckle your watch if that's easier for you. Put it on the cushion, and then just slide the cushion right into the front of the watch winder. Now, just be noted, make sure you don't push it in too far because you'll need something to pull the watch out. It'll get kind of lodged in there. Not a big deal, but you'll need to get like a screwdriver in there or something to kind of grab it. Don't push it in too far. Just push it in far enough where you can clear the crystal of the cap. And this is just a plastic, of course, but screw that on, and then you're good to go. Pretty awesome display, right? So let me plug it in here. I'll show you how it looks. I do have the power adapter, which is included. It's a USB adapter with the cord, and they do give you the daisy chain wire as well. We'll just plug this in. And we have a couple different settings on the back. We have your power, which is your rotation. So you have 3 different modes of rotation. It'll rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, or it'll rotate back and forth. So I'm going to put it on the back and forth rotation. And then you have the times here. So what this will do, will actually wind the watch and then stop. Wind the watch and stop. And I forget exactly what the duration is, but you have 5 different settings for that mode as well. So when we just have the watch winder running, check it out. So I'll tell you, this actually spins at a pretty good clip compared to some of the other watch winders I've reviewed. Definitely spinning much faster than some of the other, like I said, like some of the mainspring brands. Although I don't think the speed has really anything to do with anything. Let me try different modes here. Let's try the clockwise or the counterclockwise. Actually, the camera, I don't know what you're actually going to see, but so we put on. Whoops, that's off. So you see, I think that's clockwise, and then counterclockwise. And of course the back and forth. So I'm not sure how many rotations you're going to get. I like the idea of, I think the counterclockwise, just for the, I guess the idea of letting the rotor kind of flop back and forth as if you were actually, kind of like the same behavior the rotor would have if you were actually wearing it. I think it's more realistic as far as the movement that the rotor is going to receive. But again, there might be different opinions on that. And then of course your times, and then your battery pack or your battery compartment in the back. Again, 2 AA's. So very cool looking, very clean, very classy. And price on these is about $85, and you get a 5% off coupon if you order at least today. They do give you a huge, what I consider unnecessary instruction manual. It doesn't really give you, it doesn't really give you information I think you really necessarily need, but it is pretty decent as far as, like the time modes. Like it says here, mode 1. It says here 650 TPD slide timer switch to position. Remember, there's a little bit of a language barrier here. This is for every language, or English, Italian, Japanese, French, and 2 other languages. I don't know. But it says here, I'm not sure what the 650 TPI. It just says here winding at a rotation of 3 minutes. It says here at 3. I don't know what it means here. It says rotating at 3, 28 minutes, and a rest for 56. 32 minutes. So there's all different. Again, I'm not going to read through all these, but there's different durations on the resting mode. I mean, you'll have to go through this and read. To me, I don't really get too involved in the reasons on this. If you're a real watch connoisseur, maybe that matters. But to me, I just want it to look cool, wind my watch, and that's really it. Honestly, the looking cool is the only reason why I would buy this. But that you might be different. It says here automatic daily repeat feature. All Mosley watch winders come in an automatic daily repeat feature. Simply leave the main power switch on. And if there are 2 separate rotors, leave that rotor's power switch on. Then on the next day at about the same time, the watch wind will start again automatically with the same function. So it sounds like if I were to put this on at 3 o'clock, whatever mode it's going to start on will start at 3 o'clock. I'm not really 100% sure on. Again, very, I guess, kind of very involved, and I guess, like I said, if you are a guy, if there is a real, see, to me, if you're going to wear a watch, right, it's very random. You're wearing a watch, the way it's winding depends on how you move throughout the day, so, and depends on what you're doing. So I'm not really sure what the point of all it is, but if you know, let me know. I'm sure somebody's got a good reason on why it has to be that complicated. To me, I'm going to put my watch in, turn it on, and display it on my beautiful dresser. So I'm not going to read you all. What I was looking for here is how long they last as far as the batteries. All right, so here we go. So fresh alkaline batteries will last about 40 to 50 days. So a little over a month. Yeah, I think that, again, that's another thing they really could have improved upon. I would find it annoying to have to replace the batteries every 50 days. I think adding D-size batteries in this would definitely be a game changer, I think. So Mosley, step up your game. Next product redesign, go ahead and add that. It has a couple safeguards in here, but that's really about it. You know, a lot of this stuff is pretty self-explanatory. They also give you a polishing cloth should you not get one with every other watch in your collection. But I think it's pretty cool. You can see right now the watch winder has stopped. And again, if we change the modes, you know, if we put on the 5th mode, it's probably going to run longer and then rest longer. So I think it's great. I think it looks cool. And I think it's a great gift idea, again, for anybody who loves watches at least as much as I do. So what else? Trying to give you guys the main stuff here. Again, AC and power sources, 2 AA's. Talks about the settings, and important thing I think with this is that it's very quiet. And again, other watch winders I've reviewed before, you know, to me, everybody's different. Everybody gets annoyed with different things. Some people can't stand traffic behind their house. Some people, you know, can't stand. I've heard people talk about that new tourbillon I reviewed, how it's, they're like, ooh, it's loud. It's like, I just don't get bent out of shape about stuff like that. So, but if you do, that's okay. Again, some watch winders, I could actually, like my mainsprings, you can hear them turning very ever so slightly if the room's pretty quiet. With this, it's absolutely silent. Like, I mean, even close to it, I can barely hear it. So, pretty nice design, pretty cool. I like the ability to daisy chain them together should you want to add more. Pretty cool. I think you can get kind of creative if you know, have the money to spend. You can get, like, you know, you can do a pyramid of these things. You can do 3. I always like things in 3s for whatever reason. Pretty cool. As far as some of their other options here, I do want to share that with you guys. And again, I'll put the link in the description to their main store. They say they're 100% handmade. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Very classy, though. They have a couple pictures here. I think this is just a great thing to have as part of your decor. They have, again, the carbon fiber. They have the black leather. I'm not sure if it's real leather or like a faux leather. It looks like an orange acrylic. They have the brown leather. They have the double watch winder just like this with 2. I believe you can daisy chain all these together, but they all share, for the most part, that cool stainless steel finish on the front. There is one option that just is all black. Actually, another option, black. You can get replacement motor for these, 20 bucks. A replacement front glass cover or gloss cover, acrylic cover. So, you know, that's great. I like the fact that you can get replacement parts of these should something go wrong with them. So, pretty cool. I think this is a great company, and time will tell how long. You know, like I said, anytime that's something, you know, I like to come back to things years later and review them, you know, if I have a problem with them. So, yeah, so I think they're pretty cool. Again, on their description here, you can see the metal watch winders, the leather watch winders, the piano paint watch winders, and some reviews. So, done pretty good here. They get about 215 reviews, 4.5 stars. Ultimately, you know, stuff like this, motors are pretty darn good nowadays. So, I mean, they're going to, you know, they last for a really long time. I can't imagine you having something like this that's going to fail. But, again, cool thing that they have replacement parts. I like to compare that. I always like to mention my fireplace when it comes to parts. I had one of those electric fireplaces. It broke, and I don't know where to get parts for. It was just kind of off-brand. With this, at least you're going to be able to get a part should something fail. So pretty cool. So that's about it, guys. That's about all I have to say about this Mosley watch winder. Check them out. Let me know what you think. Links are in the description. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I want to thank Mosley for their generosity in sending me this amazing watch winder. And if I can help you guys out in any way, let me know. Have a wonderful day and take care.